What's up, Twitch? What's up, YouTube? I'm actually live on Twitch right now. I will be uploading this video to YouTube later. So, as the title says on this, we're going to do a John Jones discussion before I start playing some Overwatch. So here's the thing. Let me get up a web browser real quick. Get a web browser pulled up for us. And then we're going to get into this discussion. So if you're just tuning in, I'm going to give it a minute here. I'm going to get this browser pulled up. I'll give it a minute, let some people jump in. Zogus, thanks for the follow. Tim Maniac, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Right, there goes, yeah, cool. So, but anyways, let me get this browser up, and then because we're going to jump back and forth to this, so let's get the discussion going here. And alright, come on, let's get it. Nobody's in yet. Alright, here we go. Alright, so let's, I'm going to pull up here. We'll go ahead and junkie. Alright, let's get past that shit. Let's post Facebook post and defense of him. Alright, so for those of you who don't know what happened, who have been under a rock for the entire day, basically what happened is John Jones popped hot the night before he fought Daniel Cormier, so it would have been July 28th. They did a test that night, and they got the results this afternoon. They got the results, and they said that he failed the drug test. It was for an anabolic steroid. Let's see here. I want to get the exact compound that he took here. I think it's right here. No, we don't need to see that shit. All right.
Well, we were notified by the United.
All right. Violation website. No violation came from it. Incompetent institutions and was banned from any education. I know I saw it earlier. I just don't remember what the exact compound was because I'm pretty familiar with steroids and the way that they work. So that's something we're going to get on. We're going to get on that topic in a second here because it's something that I'm like really open to talk about where a lot of people aren't. Here we go. Turinabol. So it's a anabolic steroid. That's what he tested positive for. So here's the thing, right? Everybody knows John Jones passed, you know, like hitting the pregnant lady in the hit and run, the coke use and all that other stuff. And then the steroids like a year ago when he was supposed to fight DC. But here's what I find really, really awkward. Like, not even awkward. I find it just fishy on this drug test in specific. Is this? Here's let's give you a breakdown how steroids work. This is coming from experience. I've done cycloroids myself. I've been clean for going on 2 years now. I've had no side effects, nothing like that. If you do them properly and in the right moderation, you can get different results depending what you're looking for. So with John Jones, what I find really fishy is that he had over 30 drug tests during a 6-week period. Every one of them were clean. No issues. They never had no issues in any of those 30. But the night before he's supposed to fight, he all of a sudden decides to take an oral anabolic steroid of all things, an oral one. So for those of you who are not familiar at all with steroids, oral are the hardest on your body, generally the shittiest quality. And yeah, like that's like the makeup of oral steroids. Like that's why most bodybuilders and people like that, why they prefer to shoot steroids is because generally shooting is a better quality. Steroid, things like that, it's easier on the body. Generally, I specifically the liver. But so why I find it fishy though is that Jones decided to take it the night before he fights. We'll even say the morning. We'll say July 28th that morning he woke up and he said, "No, I'm gonna pop this steroid, um, and then I'm gonna go fight DC tomorrow." Here's the problem with that. Why would he do that, or anybody in his camp recommend he does that? Because he had so many people between dietitians, trainers, and I know people that are familiar with steroids and how they work within his camp. So why would he pop a steroid that day or that night and then go fight DC the next day? He's not going to have any results or any gains or any effects of that steroid in his system yet. And if you doubt what I'm saying right now in that, Google it. Click on any website on how long does it take for steroids to affect you. Generally, it's about 4 to 6 weeks, depending what you're on and how you're doing it. You won't see any effect of anything. I've done both oral, I've done injections, and on both of them, my oral took me, I didn't see anything at all for about 5 weeks. It took me about 5 weeks before my oral even remotely started to show anything, and that was, the bare minimum. And I know that that's how steroids work. So even in injection, you're still looking at 5, 7, 8 weeks before you even start seeing results. So that's one of the big issues that I have with this. And then I had read something just on MMA Junkie right now. Hold on. It said, let me go back to the main page here. What is this, John Jones?
Obviously, it's brutal.
Shut up, Dana White. I want to hear it. Alright, so yeah, his manager's coming in his defense here. We'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, so that's why it doesn't make any sense at all to me, is that if you're going to use steroids, and especially at their level, they have the knowledge, they have the people around them who have even more knowledge than myself on how steroids work. They know that you're not going to see any results for at least a month. You could get the highest quality shit and you're probably still not going to see anything for at least a month. Doesn't matter if you're shooting it, doesn't matter how much you're taking, doesn't matter. You have to allow for that buildup to happen. Your body has to get it in circulation, like completely in circulation. It has to regulate your hormones. As when you're taking anabolic steroids, your body's adjusting its natural hormone level for that surplus of hormone coming in and out of your body. So that's why it doesn't happen overnight. That's why it doesn't happen in 2 days or even a week. It doesn't happen like that. So I truly believe that there's something behind the scenes going on with this whole John Jones thing. And especially with USADA, it's something really weird that, that this is happening and that this was allowed to happen. If he was taking it before, one of those other 30 drug tests that he took, he would have been popped on any one of them if he was doing something any period before this. So if he was doing it the night before, they know that they're not going to see any change in results based off of that alone. So that's why I don't believe that John Jones did any steroids that night, or that day or whatever on the 28th. I don't believe that at all. Whether it's something with the UFC or in USADA or whatever, and they have a personal matter against John Jones, and they're trying to basically just ruin his career, maybe. At the end of the day, it's about business, and I just really don't know. I don't think it's the UFC that's doing it. I think maybe it's something with USADA or contaminating. I really don't know, but that was the biggest thing on the UFC news today, other than the Mayweather thing that's going on this weekend. So, yeah, man, it's just really really bad for the sport that type of shit has gone on. And then right now, what is this? From Rumble Johnson to Big John, everyone has taken a John Jones failed drug test. So there's some reactions coming through. They said DC was really pissed off about it and blah blah blah. DC has nothing to be pissed off about, in my opinion, because, like I said, even if John Jones did do the steroid on the 28th, that had zero effect on how that fight happened. Zero. Like, John Jones could have done all the steroids, and that wouldn't have done anything to change that result. That result was purely John Jones. So I don't really care what people. I mean, like I said, if you don't believe what I'm saying, do the research for yourself. I mean, it's really easy. I mean, you can click on every single steroid side effect, how long does it take, blah, blah, blah website, and you're going to find out for yourself that there's no way that doing a steroid the day before had any effect on something that happened the next day. It's just not going to happen. All right, so let's see. Following down in other immediate reactions. DC should get all of the Jones money, and you bitch, Jones cheating ass loser. Who is that? Mark Hunt. Mark Hunt's, everybody knows how he feels about the whole juice thing, because he's getting knocked out by everybody on and off of juice, so it doesn't even really matter. Rumble said, I've been getting asked left and right about John Jones situations. Well, I'll say this. I learned from my mistakes when UFC cut me the first time. I can't speak on if he'll ever learn, but as far as fight results, steroids will make you bigger, faster, stronger, but not your IQ. John cheated, but his fight IQ was still sharp. He set DC up for that head kick by doing the low kicks and liver kicks. Think about that for a second. So even Rumble, he must not have read about John getting tested 30 times during training camp, and that the test was the day before. So he must not have caught up on that. Somebody named Lauren Murphy, I don't even know who that bitch is. But John McCarthy says the belt's controlled by the promoter. The UFC can return the belt to DC, or they can say it's vacant and have two fighters compete for it. Let's talk about that. So here's the other thing, right? We'll say Jones doesn't beat this, comes back, that it wasn't tainted, whatever the situation. Comes back, Jones is stripped. He's not coming back to the UFC. He's done. What should they do with the title? Should they give it back to DC, knowing DC just got knocked out? Or should they make, I guess, DC and somebody else fight for it, like Gustafsson or what's that other dude's name that's knocking everybody out right now? What do they do at that point? Do they, in my opinion, I don't think you give it back to DC. I don't know, man. That's hard, because if you give it back to DC, he's coming off of a knockout, so he's going to be out for a while. I'm just thinking from the promotion standpoint. He's going to be knocked out. He just got knocked out, so he'll be out for a while out of the fight game. And his mental psyche coming back in probably won't be the same after that knockout, because what John did to his head. So that's the other thing. Or maybe you give it back to DC and then do an interim fight, and then you get, you do Gustafsson versus the dude what is he, Swiss or something? That dude that's just not the, I don't know how to say the guy's name, but he's just knocking everybody out. He just knocked out what that fool's name is from the UK. I can't think what that guy's name is. But he just knocked him out. Yeah, I think that's what you do. I think you strip Jones, give it back to DC, and then you do an interim fight in the meantime, because there's no way DC's ready anytime soon to fight. Daniel says the only reason I defeated him the first time, I must have been on steroids. Wonder what his excuse will be this time. Not sure how to really answer this. It's crazy the amount of people that still think Trump is good in America. They can't believe John Jones wins. I saw something too that, what's his name? Fucking Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz is his Twitter. If you guys don't follow him, go follow him. He's funny. I've ever done a movie. Man, I was just getting on something. What I saw on Twitter. Oh, it wasn't even on Twitter. It was on Snap. I think it was on Snapchat. Kevin Lee. Man, Kevin Lee went in on him. If you guys haven't seen that video, go to YouTube and just type in Kevin Lee response to John Jones or whatever. Or it'll probably just pop up if you're an MMA fan. It'll pop up. But go and watch that, man. Like, a lot of people don't like that dude. I don't even know if I like him, to be honest with you. But one thing I will say about Kevin Lee, man, that dude doesn't hold back on people. He just says what he thinks. So. Alright, so that's all off of MMA Junkie. Let's see here what we have on. Oh, fuck, I didn't even start recording. Oh, it's on my, whoops. I can export the whole thing. Let's see if anything else has popped up. Alright, nothing else has popped up. Alright, so this what we just discussed right here, I'm gonna actually put this whole thing in on YouTube, this whole video. I'll do an edit on it in a little bit here. I'll probably go on a stream break and then I will just clip that portion that we went over, and so whatever you guys think, comment on this if you agree, disagree, whatever, if you have some different insight. But the one thing I ask, if you're gonna comment on this video, make sure that you're not just saying things without knowing what you're talking about. That's the one thing I just won't respond to it. If I like read something on there and it's just somebody just saying shit that they have no idea about, I won't give them any response on it. Like, but if you if you really have something to say it. Just know that if you know you're gonna come at with some dumb shit, you won't get a response, and probably somebody will put you in your place, I'm sure. But other than that, we are done for the moment, and then we're going to get into this competitive Overwatch stream. So I'm going to clip this video before I start the stream, and I'll post it to YouTube. So if you guys want to check out my YouTube where it's at and rewatch the video, comment, whatever, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe on there. Follow me on Twitch. If you're not subscribed to me already, use that Amazon Prime subscription to come and subscribe to me. Amazon's also doing free Amazon Prime for students. So if you have a .edu website, do an .edu and then come sub to me. It's free. You get some emotes out of it. It's pretty cool. So just give me a few minutes. It'll be up on YouTube. Link for YouTube is down below, or depending on how your view is on your Twitch, but you'll see it'll say YouTube, and just click the YouTube emblem on my channel and it'll bring you to my YouTube. So just give me a minute.